Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Should You Buy It? The video series that I put off for a few weeks because I ended up streaming for like a week straight and then I ended up doing the Dagannoth solo guide. We are back though, the series is not going anywhere, I promise. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Blood Fury Amulet. For those new people out there, quick little rundown. So I like to talk about niche gear, stuff that not everyone uses. I'll explain the item, I'll give you my opinion on it, and then at the end, you'll be able to decide if you think you should buy it or not. It's a real simple formula. You love it. So, I think we can just dive right in and start talking about the Blood Fury Amulet. Why did I do that? I have no idea why I did that. So this is our special little man right here. He's the boy we're going to be talking about. But what the hell is he? What the hell does he want with us? He's actually the same thing as an Amulet of Fury, except it also has a chance to heal you for part of the damage you deal. And it has to be melee damage, you can't do it with range or magic. I think the best way to think about it is just Guthans being smushed down into a necklace. So obviously this thing is good, why wouldn't you want to use something like this whenever you're on a melee task? Well, I'll tell you why, and it's because of the money. It costs a decent bit of money to use, and it's one of those things that degrade over time, and then you'll have to rebuy it, get more charges, and that's how you continue using it. Thankfully the amulet doesn't degrade, so you'll still have your fury after the blood runs up. It's just the shard, that's the piece that's going to break down. Despite the fact that it costs so much to use and it degrades over time, it's actually really good for bossing. So I'll say this right now, if you're a rich player, you got bills in the bank, there's no reason to not use this at basically anywhere that requires melee. Might go negative depending on what boss you actually use it on, but it's almost the best for sustain, for pet hunting, for maximum kills per hour. You might be thinking, great, it's another item for the super rich and powerful, and that's totally going to benefit your mid-level account or your newly endgame account. But guess what? Even for you lowly people out there just trying to make a living wage killing some bosses, there are some places you can still go positive at using it. So let's start breaking this down. You're going to have to use it on a boss that you're meleeing, obviously, because it's just not going to work if you're not hitting it with melee. And it's also going to have to be a boss that makes a decent GP an hour. So to actually calculate this out, I'm going to round it a little bit. I'm going to make a few assumptions I'll talk about. I also need to explain a few things about the item. So the charges on this amulet are actually going to go down even if you don't get the healing from it. All that matters is that you have a successful melee hit. Zeros still have a chance to count as successful hits. I'm not going to get into it, it's more than you need to know. Also, if you're using something like a scythe that attacks multiple times, each hit has a chance to proc a charge. So if you're swinging a scythe, this thing is going to drain a lot faster than if you're just using a whip or just, a standard 4-tick attack weapon. And that's something I'm going to make an assumption on. Let's just say you're using a regular old whip. Nice and simple. So basically the 10,000 charges you have are going to equal out to about 7 hours of melee combat. Obviously when you're bossing, it's not going to be a straight 7 hours. Sometimes you won't hit, you'll be running to the bank. That's just kind of like the rough estimate is 7 hours. So if we just do some simple math, we divide the cost of the shard into the 7 hours, we're able to reasonably estimate that it's going to be 814k an hour to use the amulet. So that's basically going to be our starting point. So technically anything over $1 million an hour is going to make you at least a little bit of profit. It's going to be drastically reduced because you're using this necklace, but it's still not going to be negative. Of course that assumes you get all the average drops for the boss, on point. For example, something like Cerberus makes you 2 mil an hour. You subtract the 800k from the necklace and you're still left with 1.2 mil an hour, minus other supplies you might use. So you're still able to benefit from the necklace and actually make money at the same time. However, Cerberus is mostly tied to getting a primordial crystal, so if you don't get a prim crystal before your amulet runs up, you're going to be negative, you're going to be stuck waiting for that item. So I think it's going to favorably lean towards bosses that have a consistent drop, not the places you're going to wait for that one specific drop to make all the money. Either that or bosses that make an absurd amount of money per hour. If you're talking Nightmare, if you're maybe doing solo Cox or something, learning it. I'm sure I'll throw a short list of different bosses on screen, just to take a look at for some options. Just remember, you don't have to be profitable using this item. I really don't think it was designed for that, honestly. Whenever you actually do use it though, it's going to extend your trips, you're going to have sustain, you can bring more prayer potions instead of food. Like I kind of said earlier, I think it mostly caters to like the higher end, the luxury players that just want to speed up those kills or hunt stuff down with like the most sustain possible. And I think I just need to say it again, if you're using a scythe, it's going to drain much faster than if you're not. Because it's basically going to take 3 charges every single swing, which sucks. That makes it so much more expensive, honestly. Of course, that was just the stuff that I came up with though. If you have any more areas that you think this could be useful at or it's worth using, then let us know down below. I just always like to keep a comment pinned down below with any additional findings we come across. Alright, so we had a little bit of a shorter video today, but it was nice being able to talk about just one item specifically rather than like a whole bunch of them. Just want to let you guys know that I stream on YouTube basically once a week now. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a little Chambers of Xeric stream with some other small content creators. I thought it'd be fun. You know, it's my birthday, I want to have some drinks, laugh a little bit. Love to see you guys there and force you guys to say happy birthday to me. That's all Papa has for this time though, boys. So drive safe, text me when you're home, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you're still around, I think it's gonna be Infernal Tools, but we'll see. That's a spoiler. That's a hint for you guys that are still here. Alright, I'm gonna peace out.